Knock, knock, knock. Winter is right here on our doors, and which is why today I'm sharing with you guys my classic apple pie. This is something that brings some comfort because of the cinnamon, and you can accompany it with anything. I did it with ice cream. It goes perfectly with coffee or your cup of tea in the evening. So let's just dive in. Let me show you how to make Nelly's very classic apple pie recipe. So allow me to show you how to turn this, which is just a basic apple. We all love apples, but into this. So if what you see is of interest to you, then let's get cooking. And we know we all want some good desserts on the table. So let me show you how to do it easy and very quickly. Easy does it. For this recipe, I chose to use green apples and red apples. Reason being, I wanted to have a balance between the sweetness and a little bit of citrus nature in it. And we know the red apples are usually really sweet, and the green ones just gives you the best amount of soury and savory nature we need to the apple pie. So for me, it's about the delicacy and just the right amount of sweetness, and even also to be able to have the perfect crunch. And did you talk about the cinnamon? Cinnamon is everything in an apple pie, and even in a cold weather, cinnamon just knows how to do its thing. Okay, so let's get this done. And just to have a disclaimer out there, I'm not a chef. No, I'm not, but I'm a woman who loves good food on her table. And because of that, and because the restaurants be raping us some money, I am going to show you how to have even perfect, more better version of a restaurant apple pie at the comfort of your home in a few minutes. Not a chef, but I know this is something I get to do at my level best. So now that I'm done bragging, because this is the best apple pie you're yet to eat, okay? Now that I'm done bragging, I'm going to cut these pieces, very small pieces, because I have children and I just love my pieces just a good amount of size, okay? It just dawned to me right now that measurements is something I'm not good at doing. So reason being, since the beginning when I saw my grandma cooking and my mom cooking, we never measure. We just eyeball it. And every time we cook, we just use our eyes to see how much is enough. So this is something I'm still practicing, because most of the time we have this conversation where I have to give instructions on make it like this and do it like this and put this amount. So for the sake of my viewers who want measurements, and also my husband if he gets to practice this recipe as well one day, I'm going to attach the measurements, so be sure to check them out, and I'm hoping you will like the recipe. So I'm starting it up with about a quarter of 500 grams butter, and then I'm going in with the apples. And then I'm going to straight away, after putting in the apples, go in with the rest of the ingredients. Reason being, I don't like my butter to burn. Do you call it butter or butter? So then I went in with about 2 tablespoons of sugar and probably a half. And then I ended up going in with my cinnamon, and with the cinnamon I went in with about a tablespoon and a half there is of cinnamon powder. If you have the whole one, I would just prefer grinding it, because then you get to have that fresh cinnamon flavor. Nothing beats a fresh cinnamon flavor in your pie, trust me. After that, I started blanching my apples in a high heat, which my stove takes up to 9 being the highest. And I did this until the apples were almost perfectly cooked, but still having some crunch in it. The reason for this is to avoid that soggy pie you kind of get to have. After that, I went in and opened up my ready-made pie base, and these are basically store-bought, so if you want to buy, please go ahead and do so. If you want us to try a recipe of making a pie crust together, we can as well do the same, but for now I was pressed for time because I needed to pick the boys up. So yeah, let's get rolling this before we lay it on our beautiful pie pan, or let me just say baking tray. At this point, we're going to pour in our apples, after which we're going to cover the top as well. Same thing, roll the dough, roll it properly into not so thin but good layer, and then cover the top as well, and then put it in an oven which has been preheating for about 180 degrees Celsius. Now I didn't get to check the timing which my oven, the pie stayed in the oven, but you can keep watching and wait until it gets to about golden brown and then take it out, because your pie will be cooked. Because remember, the most important thing is that we had pre-cooked already the apples for the pie. Okay, after my pie is done, golden brown and beautiful, looks so yummy. Crust is crusting, it's really nice. So I went in with what my younger one calls, mommy, put some snow on top of it, and I call it icing sugar, and just to give it a nice finish. And this is what we made together. Again, disclaimer, if you feel like the words I used which I could have not have used, remember I told you I'm not a chef, but I know my apple pie is the best, hands down. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. For those of you who've been asking me for my apple pie recipe, they are on Instagram. And if you find this useful as well, like the video, give it a subscribe, and leave me a comment. I love you, and until the next one, I'll see you again, sweetheart. Bye-bye. Enjoy your desserts. I love you so much. So after that, if you're counting your calories are sleeping, because this is yumminess in front of you. You can bake your pie, you can bake your cake and eat it as well. Don't make it for others, enjoy with them. I love you.